There's a verse in Exodus that most people overlook because it sounds more like an ancient farming manual than a law. It's Exodus 21:29, and it talks about an ox who has a bad habit of goring people.
The law says that if someone has an ox that's very violent and they're told to restrain it, and they don't, and the oxen ends up killing someone, that both the ox and the owner will face the ultimate penalty. That sounds like literal livestock advice, but the New Testament gives us a deeper picture.
Exactly. In 1 Corinthians, Paul asks the question, does God care for oxen? And his answer is no, because God says this for our sakes. So when the scripture talks about an ox, it's really talking about church leadership, the ones that tread out the grain or are doing the hard work.
So if we take this back and apply it to Exodus, this goring ox can just represent leaders who abuse their authority to be manipulative, to bully, and to exploit the church. Instead of feeding the flock, they're pushing them around.
And Isaiah 56 describes them perfectly as blind watchmen and greedy dogs who are only looking out for their personal gain. They're too concerned about their own comfort instead of protecting the flock they're supposed to be guarding.
The real tragedy is when these leaders are not held accountable. It gives Christ a bad name. When people look at all the corruption going on, they say, well, if that's what Christianity is, I want no part of it.
That's why accountability is so vital. If those in authority are refusing to restrain a goring ox, then they are sharing in the guilt. As Psalms reminds us, God renders to everybody according to their works.
But what about the rest of us? If we aren't in charge of the ox or the leader, what are we supposed to do?
Romans 16 gives us a clear command: mark and avoid. We have an obligation to watch those who cause offenses that are contrary to sound doctrine and to step away.
It's not just about leaving, it's about protection. If a leader has a track record of being abusive and greedy, we should leave and not be under their influence, and also warn others.
We don't have to stay under leadership that causes harm. Our primary loyalty isn't to a corrupt system, but to the truth.